Now, the other thing, too, is, speaking of former leaders, Tony Abbott, they do the series of former leaders and former Prime Ministers in Troy's column in the Australian for the 75th anniversary of the Liberal Party. Abbott sort of left the door ajar that he could make a comeback. Now, Greg, one of the things I say, well, he wouldn't come back in Warringah. There's no way he's going to come back there. But, OK, I'll give you Hinch's hunch. What would be wrong with him in 10 years' time, or 5 years' time, getting a Liberal Party Senate seat?
In 10 years' time?
5 years' time?
70. I mean, not everyone can keep going as long as you, Derryn.
Derryn's 75.
No, I don't. I mean, he is very fit. He says he's fitter than he was 35 years ago, so good on him. No, I think going back to the past would be a mistake, and frankly, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he acknowledges that. As, leaving political life for someone like him, who's been at such a high level and is so passionate about it, would be very difficult. But for the good of the Liberal Party, they've got to keep moving forward. And I think this election was sort of a bit of a miracle win, not just the fact that they won when no one expected them to, but that a lot of the people, Turnbull's no longer there, Tony Abbott's no longer there, Chris Pyne's no longer there, who, a lot of people...
Derryn Hinch is no longer there.
Oh, well, that's a tragedy. But a lot of people that may have been getting tired in the government had left. And Scott Morrison, it's like they look like a brand new government. And that's why Labor is consciously really focusing on calling them a third-term government all the time. That's what they're being told to do, the MPs, because they don't look like a third-term government. They look like a brand new one.
That's a very, very good point. It really is. All right, I'll drop the idea of Abbott coming back in the Senate. I think one person who should not get it, because they're coming up soon to replace Arthur Senator Dennis, and that seat there should not go to Jim Molan, because what he did by saying vote under the line, he undermined his own party, and he undermined the National Party marriage with the Liberals, and caused all sorts of dissension in the lead up to the last election. Do you agree, Rob?
I do agree, but I'm sure a lot of your colleagues here at Sky would love to see him back, Derryn, because he's a great media performer as a senator and a frequent flyer. Look, I mean, it looks like he will come back, and, it looks like he will come back with the support of the Prime Minister. He's only saying he'll do 2 years, the remainder of this term, and then, they'll go back to a proper pre-selection of a Conservative candidate and a moderate candidate. But there are people within the New South Wales Liberal Party who probably don't take him at face value in that sense, and they say he probably will want to continue on, but it looks like it will be him, Derryn. But there are plenty of people in the New South Wales Liberals that agree with you.
Yeah, he has said that he would only do the 2 years, but, Greg, he did undermine the party, and I remember the Nationals were absolutely furious about it because that spot was meant to be theirs, and they got it. But for a while, there looked like he got a couple of 100,000 votes below the line, which shows. Shows a lot of independence and shows a lot of guts. I'll grant him that, and I enjoyed his company in the Senate. But I think if people say, hang on, party loyalty must mean something.